Hi everybody, welcome back to the Cupcake Jemma channel with me, Sally, and we are here. I say we, it's just Sam and I today, riding solo. We're here in the brand new Cupcake Jemma studio, which we've had for a few weeks now, and it's actually come in real handy because, I don't know if you know yet, but we are writing a recipe book. The very first Crumbs and Doilies recipe book, which is like the most exciting thing to ever happen here, I think. We have loads and loads of recipes in there. I think it's over 90 recipes now. We just keep on chucking them in because there's so many good ones, and loads of them are ones that you've seen before, your favorite ones, our favorite ones, but there is a whole hunk of newness going on. Loads of sparkly brand new recipes to bring you guys, ones that you've never seen before, not at Crumbs and Doilies, not on Cupcake Jemma, so we are so excited to bring that to you. It's coming out in November, so, you know, just in time for Christmas, but you can pre-order yours right now. There's a link to do that in the description box below. We're just so thrilled to be doing it. And a few weeks ago, we did our first week of photo shoots, and we had the photographers up here, the stylists, there were props everywhere, and it was just the most fun thing ever. And if you want a little sneaky peek into that, then head over to our bake club at patreon.com/Cupcake Jemma. Join the club and we'll be bringing you loads of little behind the scenes actions. We've got more photos to be doing, loads of writing. It's been like the shortest deadline for a book ever, which has been absolute madness, and is probably why I'm looking maybe a bit disheveled today, a bit sleep deprived, but it's all been fun and the show must go on, and that show is coming right now in the form of a strawberry ice cream sundae. It is absolutely delicious, this recipe. We're going to be making our own ice cream. It's going to be strawberry and mascarpone, so it kind of tastes a little bit like strawberry cheesecake, and y'all know I love a cheesecake. We're also going to be making our own strawberry sauce and some pie crumb. So if you don't want to make the ice cream, you can still make these extra little bits and make yourself a delicious ice cream sundae at the end of it. So let's crack on and get on with making our ice cream. For ice cream, you kind of want to get a little bit ahead of the game, because ideally you make your custard the day before, let it chill down completely. So that's what we are going to be doing. So we're going to make our custard. This is really simple. People get scared of making custard, but it's fine, guys. We're going to start off with some milk in a saucepan over a low heat. So I've got 250 ml of whole milk going into our saucepan here, and we're just going to have that on a medium heat just to kind of warm up. Meanwhile, we're going to get whisking some caster sugar and some egg yolks. So I've got 200 grams of caster sugar, or you could use granulated sugar as long as it's white sugar, and we'll pop in 4 egg yolks. And then we start whisking just by hand with a normal whisk, and to start with it's going to feel really stiff, but the more that you whisk it, the looser it becomes, and you want to keep whisking until it's pale and kind of thick and a bit fluffy. So this is what you want your eggy sugar mixture to look like, really pale in colour, very thick, and hopefully by now your milk will have warmed through. What you don't want to do is let this boil and bubble away. We just want to warm it. So you'll know when it's ready because you can see some steam coming off it, and some very small bubbles will have started to form just around the edge of the pan. Perfect, we are ready. So I've turned the hob off, and now what we need to do is mix these two together. I don't know if you've ever made custard before, but we don't want to just bung it all together because really hot milk, eggs, scramble, bleh. We don't want to do that. So we're going to do what's called tempering. So adding a little bit of hot to the eggs, a little bit at a time. So I'm using a cup measure because it was the closest thing I could find, but a ladle or something would do fine. So I'm just taking a small amount of the milk, popping it into the egg, whisking it through, and then we're just going to keep doing that until all of the milk and egg mixture are combined. And once all of the milk is in, we're actually going to put it all back in the hob because, I mean, this isn't custard, this is just runny stuff, delicious, but not custard. So we're pouring it back into our saucepan, and now we're going to heat it to thicken it. Now I'm going to do this over a medium heat. I'm going to stir with a wooden spoon, not the whisk, because I don't want it to get too kind of bubbly and frothy, and we're just going to keep the mixture moving all the time, and we want to get it until it's covering the back of the spoon, but personally I like to use a sugar thermometer and get it to 85 degrees C. We are there. reached temperature and Mr. Spoon is pretty happy with his custard. If we take our finger through it, it holds its shape like that. I guess it's sort of just slightly thicker than double cream if you want to go by that. Anyway, what we're going to do now is take it off and we're going to pour it back into a large bowl. And it all goes, looking mighty delicious. If by any chance you ended up with some lumps, then just pour it through a sieve, guys. It will be completely fine. Now it is time to add our mascarpone. So I've got 250 grams of mascarpone, which I've just had out of the fridge just for about half an hour. We're going to put it all into the custard, grab back our whisk and whisk it to combine it. And once you're satisfied that all of the mascarpone has kind of melted into the custard, it's just smelling amazing, by the way. Mainly because I've got strawberries there too, which we're going to get onto now. So the last thing we need to do with our custard is we're going to pop a little bit of cling film, or you could use a bit of greaseproof paper for this, but what you really want to do is make sure that the cling film directly sits on top of the custard, and that's going to stop it from getting a custardy skin. And we're just going to leave that to one side for about half an hour before putting it in the fridge. Now, like I said, if you can make this the day before, that is ideal because it means the custard's going to be properly cold before we start churning it in the machine. Now, anyway, it is time to get on with making the strawberry part of our strawberry ice cream, along with some strawberry sauce. So in total here, I've got 300 grams of strawberries. I've just cut the ends off them and chopped them up a little bit. You don't really need to chop them up, because what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to our food processor and we're just going to chuck all of the strawberries into it, and then we're going to wazz it up until it's a smooth puree. All right, so that doesn't take too long. And now what we're going to do is get rid of this. And we're going to weigh out 100 grams of this, and that is going to be the 100 grams that goes into our strawberry custard before we churn our ice cream. So we'll pop 100 in here. The rest of it's going to go into this teeny tiny little saucepan. And this is the same that we do with our raspberry goo. We're just going to pop it on a low to medium heat with about 50 grams of sugar, and we're going to keep stirring it, keeping an eye on it until it's nice and thick. That is exactly what we want. And it will thicken up a little bit more once it comes off the heat. So we'll do that right now. Just pour it into a bowl. Oh, it's looking beautiful and smelling absolutely divine. Super duper summery. Love that smell. So these two things here, our strawberry goo and just our whizzed up strawberries for our custard, we're just gonna, again, have to let these cool down. So they're gonna go over here. Once it's all cool, we'll put it into the fridge to chill for tomorrow. But guess who made some custard yesterday? Me, I did. So I've got some that has completely chilled. Let me grab my strawberry as well. So we'll peel back the cling film, get rid of this. Now what we're going to do is mix our strawberry. So this is not the strawberry goo that we heated. This is the strawberry that we just whizzed up and saved back. I'll just use this spoon. We're going to pop the strawberry into the custard and mix it all together. That's more like it, isn't it? Strawberry and mascarpone custard ready to be churned. Such a beautiful colour, and I really love all the little flecks of strawberry in there too. If you wanted to make this like super pink, you could put some food colouring in it, but I love this kind of pastel natural tone. So now it is ready to churn. Now, obviously you're going to need some kind of, well, not obviously, but ideally you'd have a machine to do this. There are loads of different types of ice cream machine. There's the ones that I'm going to use, which are like awesome. They're a little bit expensive, but if you like making ice cream, then I totally recommend it because it churns it in 40 to 50 minutes. You know, you don't actually have to do anything, you just put it in and walk away. Brilliant. But there are other ones where you can kind of get a bowl that you put into your freezer to chill it, you take it out, you churn your ice cream, you put it back in the freezer, that kind of thing. A little bit kind of cheaper, but definitely do the job. If you don't want to do any of that, but you still want to make ice cream, then you could pop your custard into the freezer for about 30 minutes, then you're going to take it out every 20 to 30 minutes and use a whisk or a fork, something to kind of whip through it to get a little bit of air going through, and you're just going to have to keep doing that until you get to a nice ice cream consistency. But I don't got time for that, guys. We got a book to write, come on. But also, we had this awesome ice cream machine that I think was given to us a long time ago, and we use it all the time. So this is one of the fancy ones that does it all for us. So I've had it on for about 10 minutes just to kind of get the chill going. I'm gonna pour my ice cream mixture into the bowl, like so. Ooh. We're gonna pop on the lid, and then we're gonna start it, and we're going to leave it churning for 40 minutes. So whilst our ice cream is churning away, I'm just going to pop this little Tupperware into the freezer because I like to have everything nice and chilled. It's like having the custard chilled. We like to chill the Tupperware so that when it goes in, it's not going to get any chance to warm up. So that's going in there. Now it is time to make our pie crumb. Maybe you don't know what pie crumb is. I feel like we do it an awful lot here on the channel, and especially at Crumbs and Doilies. It's essentially delicious little bits of biscuity, nuggety deliciousness. And you know, we get totally addicted to it here. I feel like people think that because we work in a bakery, we must eat like cake and brownies and stuff all the time, but in truth, we kind of don't. I guess it's like if you worked in like a fish and chip shop, you're probably not eating fish and chips all the time. But, I mean, actually that sounds kind of great to me. Maybe I'll do a swap with somebody. But it's things like this, like pie crumb and like multi cornflakes, these little kind of like scraps of bits everywhere, we kind of are totally addicted to. And when you break the seal for the day, you're kind of doomed and you just won't stop eating it. I hope I've sold it to you because it is that delicious. It's super simple to make as well. So in this bowl here, I've got 110 grams of plain flour, 20 grams of caster sugar, and a good pinch of sea salt. It's probably about a quarter teaspoon if you want to measure it. And into that, we are going to pour 60 grams of melted and cooled unsalted butter, and we're going to start by mixing this together with a spoon. And now I'm just going to add the teeniest little bit of cold water, just because I think it's looking ever so slightly dry. And we want to get this to the perfect consistency. Again, if you feel like it's too wet, you can add a tiny bit more flour. So once all of the kind of flour and sugar have been kind of hydrated by the butter and the water, we're going to pop our spoon down and we're going to go in with our hands because we want to form the perfect nuggets. And to do that, we're just going to pick it up like this and kind of crumble it between our fingers and let it fall into the bowl. That is it. Lots of different shapes and sizes of nuggets that we're now going to pour into a baking tray and just kind of scatter them about with your fingers a little bit so they're individual and not clumping together. And we're going to pop this into an oven preheated at 170 degrees C, which is fan assisted. And we're going to put them in for around 10 to 12 minutes or until they are lovely and golden on the outside. So that's it. We just got to wait now. Probably do some washing up. Maybe there's time for a nap. Okay, thanks. Ice cream is ready. Mainly because the machine told me it was ready, but also it's at the right consistency. Like it's stopped being sloppy and it has turned into delicious looking ice cream. I did also try a bit just to make sure. I can confirm it's tasting pretty great. So now what we need to do is get it into the freezer just to finish its sort of set, because it is still a little bit soggy and it's going to start melting really quickly. Sorry, these paddles are so faffy. Okay, now it is time for the fun bit. We're going to start with our pie crumb, which I've got here, and I'm going to pour about half of this in and I'm going to mix it all about. And now it is time to load up our chilly Tupperware container here. starting with a little bit of our delicious strawberry sauce, homemade strawberry ice cream sauce. I'm going to dollop a little bit at the bottom, just because the more the merrier. Next, we're going to put more of this goo directly into our ice cream. I'm going to dollop a few bits, and then I'm going to use the spoon to kind of ripple it through. Not too much, we don't want it to kind of mix in. We want those pockets of strawberry goopy goodness, and then we're going to start piling it into the Tupperware. I'm just going to sort of smooth this out. And even though we're just gonna like scoop all of this ice cream out, I like to make things look pretty. So I've got some more strawberry sauce. I'm gonna do a few dollops on the top, grab my palette knife and just ripple it through, top it off with a little bit of pie crumb. And that is it, ready almost. It really does need to go into the freezer now, just to kind of really set, because it is very, very kind of squishy still, and it does have to go in there. Like, again, I would say ideally overnight, guys. Maybe like a couple of hours if you really can't wait. But obviously I made one earlier. Come on, let's get it out. Here it is. I'm so excited to eat this because I know how delicious it is. And it is really hot in here today as well, so this is kind of perfect. Now, you can just eat this straight as it is, but I want to make it a little bit fancy, so I've got myself this really nice ice cream glass actually. I've got the strawberry goo left over, we've got some more pie crumb left over, and I've got some chopped up fresh strawberries as well. So I'm going to start with a few strawberries, and then I'm going to keep on going with all these amazing ingredients until we've got the perfect strawberry ice cream sundae. That looks absolutely epic. It kind of reminds me of like being a kid and going somewhere, probably like TGI Fridays or something, and getting an ice cream sundae. Hopefully this is, you know, a bit better, but I used to love those TGI Friday sundaes. Anyway, let's give this a go. Oh, get a bit of everything. I mean, it's really cold. Absolutely delicious. It's really cheesecakey because of that mascarpone. It is a bit like a strawberry cheesecake shortcake thing with those bits of pie crumb in there too. And the flavour is absolutely perfect because we've used fresh strawberries. I've never really been a fan of like fake strawberry flavour, like strawberry milkshakes and, you know, kind of cheapo strawberry ice cream, can I say that? But this just tastes so natural, really refreshing, really light, a little bit of tang. It's delicious. Can I have one more mouthful? And remember, if you don't want to make the ice cream yourself, you can get yourself some strawberry ice cream or any flavour ice cream and just make some goo, make some pie crumb, get some strawberries, maybe some other fruits, pile it all up and you'll have yourself something just as epic as this. I really want to eat it more, but I feel like I just need to get all the info out to you guys first. We really love making ice cream here. We want to know what kind of ice creams you want to see on the channel. There definitely are some kind of no churn ice creams I feel like we could definitely bring to you this summer as well, so you don't need an ice cream machine at all, because we absolutely love it here. Actually, our bakery manager at Crumbs and Doilies, Rosie, she makes ice cream like, I don't know, at least twice a week. She's got loads of awesome flavours, so let us know what your favourite is and we will do our best to bring it to you. We've got so much more coming up here. Obviously, Everything is all about the Crumbs and Doilies book right now. We've got next week doing more photos, and remember, join us in our bake club for behind the scenes actions, and pre-order your book now if you want to do that. Maybe you want to get all your Christmas presents bought in like June or July, whatever month we're in now. Like, that would be epic. All the links to these are in the description box below. We'll be back next week with another recipe for you guys. I literally can't tell you what it's going to be because we are working sort of right up to the day right now. Nothing's planned, nothing's filmed, but don't you worry, we will be here for you guys. Job done? Okay, see you next week.